Hi guys, welcome to or welcome back to the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie, and if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button, the like button, and leave a comment below, or wait till the end and leave a comment and let me know what you think about the stories that we're about to talk about today. Also, let me know what you're drinking. I always love to know what you guys are sipping on while, or maybe eating, or I don't know, doing during the podcast. And right now, I am drinking a latte with, hear me out, cake butter extract, okay? And a Splenda, like half a Splenda. So my boyfriend got some cake batter extract from Amazon because he wants to make sugar cookie syrup. It's my favorite syrup of all times at Starbucks. I don't know why it's not like a, what am I trying to say? I don't know why it's not like a permanent flavor at Starbucks, okay? Because it's the best one. And also, sugar cookie is not a holiday cookie, so make it a permanent flavor, or I don't know. But unfortunately, though, I did find out that it has red 40 and yellow 5 in it. So we're going to return it to Amazon, and then my boyfriend found one that doesn't have red 40 or bad ingredients in it, which, why the fuck does cake batter extract need color? Please let me know. I don't care what color the cake batter extract is, okay? Like, I just want to let you know that I actually don't care. That goes for most things. If it's not adding flavor, I don't want it. Like, I love hot Cheetos, and I'm a hot Cheeto girly, okay? I'm literally actually obsessed with hot Cheetos. It's not even okay. And why do they have to have red 40? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I know they're not, like, good. They're not by any means healthy for you no matter what, but without the red 40, I would feel a little better eating them. I try not to eat them too many times, or too much, but lately I've been eating them, like, every other weekend. I went a while without eating them, but I've started to get a little more into it. Also, if you notice that I'm feeling, like, I don't know if I'm a little off right now because I took my medicine late, my morning medicine that I was supposed to take this morning. I took it like 30 minutes ago and it's kicking in, and it makes me dizzy for like 10 minutes, and so I feel really dizzy right now, but it's fine. I'll get through it. But yeah, so I am drinking this cake batter latte, which it's not as amazing as I thought it would be, but I mean, I'm not supposed to just be drinking it with extract. Like, my boyfriend got it to make sugar cookie syrup, so I didn't really need to go that in-depth about my coffee that I'm drinking, but I just needed to let you guys know. I'm so glad you guys are alive, and I'm so happy that you're here. You guys are honestly the best. Like, seriously, I love the community that we're building, guys. I also, to tie into that, it's so funny when you guys comment that I'm like funny or anything related to me being funny in any sort of way. I always show my boyfriend because he told me I wasn't funny, and I feel like it's because, like, I don't know, it's just like it's like girls get it and like so guys don't, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, well, that's because you're like way nicer to them. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you're just not a girl, so I don't feel the need to, like, say. Also, I feel like most of the stuff that I would say to you guys, he wouldn't understand. Like, girls just get it, and guys just don't. So, yeah. But I always show him, I'm like, oh, this girl said that I'm funny. Look, this girl also said that I'm funny. And he's like, oh my gosh. But no, I'm hilarious. I actually sometimes think I'm funny, and then sometimes I think I'm just, like, annoying, and I'm like, I feel like I'm probably funnier when I don't try, and I just, honestly, I have always, like, when I was growing up, my family would always laugh at everything that I said, and I felt like a comedian, but, like, I've never really thought that I was actually funny. So when I get that compliment, like, it's genuinely the best compliment ever. I would much rather someone tell me that I'm funny or I'm hilarious than, like, I'm pretty. Like, genuinely, the funny comment is just, it sticks with me. I love, obviously, like, it's so nice if someone tells me that I'm pretty, but the funny comments, like, that's really what I will remember. So, yeah, just thought I should tell you that. But also, have you guys seen the Woman of the Hour movie on Netflix? Trigger warning for sure, because lots of SA and murder and what else? Just terribleness, like, literally so bad. But it's a really good movie if you like true crime and you want to watch, like, so I love documentaries as well, like true crime documentaries. It does take me a little bit to get into those, but obviously I'd like to know the real facts and not, like, a semi-fabricated story for entertainment, you know? But it's like interesting to watch it as a movie because I just love movies. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that movie is very good, but just warning, don't watch it if you get triggered by any of the things that I said previously, because it's definitely very, very, it's not, they don't even include like his worst crimes, this guy, but it's still pretty bad. And after I watched it, I was researching on YouTube and I was just like trying to find, I wanted to find like the court case and stuff, which a lot of it wasn't filmed, and I wanted to watch like one of the girls give their statements because apparently someone did. But it's really, really sad, but it's a good true crime movie, which I hate saying like, oh, this movie was so good, I loved this movie, because it's like obviously it's so sad and it's so terrible, but like it was not, I don't want to say even entertaining. That's just like disgusting. It was a good movie, and it makes you like pissed at this guy and just be like, at the end of the movie, when the last like 5 minutes were playing, my boyfriend was like, I hate men. And I was like, me too, girl. Me too. Like, seriously, why? If you watched it, or if you do watch it, you'll understand, because it's just like so crazy, and it's just, I don't even understand like the minds of these men. And obviously I know women commit crimes like this as well, but I just don't understand the minds of these people that do this kind of stuff. Like, it's truly so crazy, and I think that's what makes it so intriguing to me, is that like, that there are people like that exist in the world. How, I just don't understand how or why you would want to do that, and it's really, really crazy to me. So I think this is the last thing that I have to talk about, but this weekend we went to, what did we do on Friday? I don't even remember what we did on Friday night. Oh, we went to happy hour, and then we came back and we watched that movie actually, and then I think we watched another movie after that as well. I also got hot Cheetos that night, and we ate some candy, and I always feel like obviously you want something so bad, and then like once you eat it, you're like, damn, I shouldn't have eaten that because it's just so bad for you. But whatever, it happened. And weekends, I always go crazy, because like during the week I try to be as healthy as possible, but then once the weekends come, I get crazy with food and stuff, and it's honestly so bad. But Saturday we went to breakfast with my boyfriend's mom, and we were there for a while. It like took so long. And then after that we came home, we kind of just like chilled, and we went to dinner that night with his family. And then after, we went to a little like beach. It's like a little beach bar. It's on the water. And because sometimes I just like to go like get a drink, get a little buzz. And even if it's not going to be like a crazy night, we're going to go to like a bunch of bars until like 3 a.m. I still like to like sometimes just let loose and have some drinks. And so me and my boyfriend, we went, just had a drink at this beach bar, just sat there. They have like live bands there, so we just listened to some music and we chilled for like an hour or two. I don't know. But yeah, so that was fun. That's my weekend. Yesterday I went thrifting. On TikTok, if you follow me on TikTok, you know that I post like stories, get ready with me stories, and get ready with me stories while I'm doing my makeup, my skincare and stuff, and I read Reddit stories, and like I narrate them. So but I've been trying to post like once in a while. I post like personal stuff like vlogs, or like me making coffee or something like that. I try not to do too much of that, because obviously I know that why people follow me is because of my like the Reddit stories that I read and stuff. So yeah, but if you ever want to check out my TikTok, it's linked below as well. I tried to tape my boobs up because this is so low, and the way that my boobs sit is like a V, and then this is like it makes like a triangle. So I tried to tape them up, but it didn't really work. So I'm so sorry if you see my little, I don't even know what to call that, but someday I'm gonna get a boob job. Sorry. And I'm all for body positivity, but just not my body positivity. Because genuinely, I just hate my boobs so much. Like, I don't really think about it that often, but when I do see my boobs, I'm like, damn, like, well, I don't want to die not knowing what it feels like to have regular boobs. I've told you guys before that I have like tubular boobs, okay? It's literally a thing. If you look up tubular boobs, there's like specific doctors that do boob jobs to fix tubular boobs. And I just want a boob job. I just want to have normal boobs. I don't want to have huge boobs or anything. I just want to have normal boobs with normal cleavage. And I don't understand why God couldn't have given me that. Like, it's just rude. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, so he couldn't make me naturally skinny, and he also couldn't have given me like nice boobs, just normal boobs, like not even nice, just normal. Like, I don't want fucking traffic cones on my chest. So sorry. But that's just me. That's just my insecurity. And I hate that for me. And I'm also sorry that if you have tubular boobs, and I don't want to make anyone insecure about it, it's just my personal insecurity. And ever since I was younger, when I was in 8th grade, I used to drink like 2 gallons of milk every couple days because I heard that milk made your boobs grow. So I was committed to the bit, and I was trying so hard to get some titties. And once my boobs started to grow, which it probably wasn't because of the milk, but once they did start to grow around like 8th, 9th grade, they became so tubular and like they were saggy, but like not saggy, you know? My boobs just like point down and they're like this. If you're on Spotify, sorry, but they're like cones. And yeah, so I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna save up for a boob job at some point. But there's also so many other things I want, and I'm like, girl, calm down, please. Because I'm like, to the other day, I'm like, I need liposuction. To my boyfriend, he's like, even if you did need liposuction, you're gonna get liposuction, and then what? And then you're gonna continue a lifestyle of eating unhealthy, and then you're gonna gain back the fat, which, calm down, please. He's like, hypothetically, and I was like arguing with him about it, not really, but he's like, I wasn't saying that you needed it. I was just saying hypothetically, you could just gain all the weight back. And I'm like, I don't care if I could be skinny in 2 days, okay? I need to be better. Stop talking about this. Sorry, guys. I don't want to trigger anyone with my terrible, terrible body image issues. But I know that so many people experience the same feelings as I do. So like, I'm sure I'm not the first person to, like, I don't know. It's just once you struggle with it, you struggle with it for so long, and it's so annoying, but it's life. And as much as I try to get over it, it's really hard to permanently get over it. It's like always in the back of my head, wanting to like go back to my old ways and wanting to like try to be as skinny as I used to be. But then when I think about it, I'm like, damn girl, you were so skinny, but you were miserable because you weren't eating, and you hated your life because you couldn't enjoy food the way that you want to. And now I'm enjoying food, but then I'm not enjoying my body, and it's like a give or take. And it's like, what do I do then? How can I enjoy food but then also enjoy my body at the same time? I need to learn moderation is the thing, but I don't have moderation. Like, it's so hard for me to get moderation. And I also feel like I destroyed my metabolism so much, so to the point where even if I did have moderation, like, I still wouldn't be able to lose weight like I would want to, because probably this is how my body is supposed to be, and it's probably supposed to be this way, and it's healthy this way, probably, I'm assuming. And it's not like I'm fat or anything, but since I see myself that way, it's like, I don't see this as a healthy weight for me. I see it as me being overweight because I was once so much skinnier, and I just felt like I looked so much better. And if you know, you know. You know that feeling, you know that it's a feeling that sticks with you for so long, and it just feels like sometimes there's no hope. Like, it literally genuinely feels like I'm never going to truly be happy with my body, and that's like the thing that sucks the most. Okay, we're going to start Storytime Society with the first story, titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Sister I Hooked Up with Her Fiance and Ruining Her Engagement even though she took him back? I, 19 female, come from a super religious family where everyone marries fast through matchmakers. I'm the black sheep because I left religion and started dating casually. My sister Marie, 25 female, is the family favorite. Beautiful, smart, outgoing, but she struggled to find a husband. After a string of failed matches, she finally got engaged last month to Christopher, 30 male. Everyone was relieved because she'd been trying for so long. I was happy for her until I met the fiance. Christopher and I hooked up last year. For context, the age gap between us isn't the issue, so please don't bring it up. We met at a party, and despite being religious, he's divorced and didn't seem concerned about staying pure. We hooked up 5 times. He was my first everything. Kiss, hook up, all of it. After the 5th time, he said he was falling for me, but I wasn't looking for anything serious, so I ended things before it got too complicated, especially because I knew he wanted to eventually get remarried, and I was not the girl for that. We hadn't seen each other since, until Marie brought him home as her fiance. The second we locked eyes, I knew we were both thinking, oh shit. Later that night, Christopher pulled me aside, begging me not to tell Marie. He said it meant nothing, it was in the past, and telling her would only ruin her happiness. He texted and called me for a week, saying how much Marie had been through and how I'd destroy her life if I told her. I kept my mouth shut at first. I didn't want to hurt her, but the guilt was eating me alive, like I was watching her walk into a disaster. I felt like she deserved to know, so I told her. At first, Marie didn't believe me. She said I was trying to sabotage her happiness because I couldn't stand being single. I had to show her the texts and photos to prove it. When she finally accepted the truth, she lost it. She confronted Christopher, and he denied everything, until she shoved the evidence in his face. Marie called off the engagement. That's when things really hit the fan. My parents and some relatives told me that I should have kept quiet. They said I'd ruined Marie's one shot at happiness and called me selfish for interfering. Now I'm not even invited to the wedding. Yep, they got back together, but I'll get to that. It gets worse. While Marie and Christopher were dating, he randomly called me, saying he wanted to reconnect. He was rather vague, but it was obviously a booty call. I didn't know he was dating at the time, and definitely didn't know he was dating my sister. I let him down firmly and didn't engage because I had no interest. After telling Marie about our hookup, I mentioned this call because I thought she should know he wasn't as faithful while they were dating as she thought he was. But that backfired spectacularly. Marie accused me of making up lies to tear them apart. Christopher denied everything and said I was obsessed with him. Marie sided with him and called me a, quote, a desperate home-wrecking whore. Since I deleted my call history, I had no proof. It became a he said, she said situation, and Marie believed him. Now, Marie and Christopher are back together, and they're getting married. She showed up at my apartment a few weeks ago after the fight, crying. Apparently, Christopher convinced her that what happened between us was just a meaningless mistake, and that it made him realize how much he wanted to be with her. I tried to explain that he told me he was falling for me, not to make it seem like he still liked me, just to show her he's lying to her about what he felt for me. But she just got angrier and called me a jealous liar and some other petty names I won't repeat before storming out. Now I'm completely cut off from family events. My parents say that I've caused enough damage, and extended family members are calling me a slut, both behind my back and to my face. Every attempt I've made to explain myself has been shut down. So, yeah, they're getting married anyway. And here I am, wondering if I just blew up her engagement for nothing. Should I have stayed quiet? Did I do the right thing? Or did I just ruin my relationship with my family for no reason? That's ridiculous. That is truly ridiculous. Are you kidding me? I mean, obviously it's very different because your family, like, if your ooh, mommy bleeding. If your family is like, I don't know what that religion is that uses like matchmakers to find someone, but I feel like that kind of already shows that it's very would it be unorthodox would be the word? I don't know. So it's like I feel like they probably think since they weren't matched that they like need to get married and this is like interfering with it, when in reality like a family that doesn't use like matchmakers to find partners would probably say that that they should like that the girl should leave her fiance because he's just lying to her about everything. And it's like, just come clean if that's the case, if that happened, which obviously I believe her that it happened, but just come clean. Like, just come clean because it's not your fault. You didn't know that was her sister. So it's like you couldn't have done anything about it, and then you guys happen to, I don't know if they're really are like in love or something, but you guys happen to get together and then find out after the fact. So it's like that's nobody's fault, but the fact that you're lying is your fault. So That's a little ridiculous. But okay, some of the top comments. Christopher is a walking red flag. Marie is in for a lifetime of unhappiness for duration of marriage. Marie will be wondering if he is really going where he says he is. Is he cheating? Their marriage is doomed before vows are exchanged. OP, you are not the asshole. Oh, I also forgot that he actually called her sister while they were dating. So that's just another reason that they should leave. And the fact that the sister doesn't believe it, it's like so annoying when and this is even weirder because it's like they're sisters, but I find it so annoying when the girlfriend or the boyfriend doesn't believe it and they just like choose to reject the truth. Like, it's crazy to me because I know in certain circumstances, like there's definitely like celebrities where people will like DM them and say your boyfriend cheated with me or something because they're famous and they'll make stuff up. But like if you're just living a normal life and you're just a normie like person, you're not gonna most people are not gonna be lying about that kind of thing. So unless like you truly had like an enemy that wanted to sabotage you. And I can't even imagine, like, if someone told me that my boyfriend cheated on me, I would believe it. Like, I mean, it'd be hard to believe because when did he have the time? We're together 24/7 if he's not at work, but obviously people can make it happen, you know? Like, anything can happen, and that's sad, but it's true. But it's like, if someone's gonna tell me that, I'm gonna be like, thank you so much for telling me, and I'm gonna go break up with my boyfriend because, first of all, I'm never, ever, ever gonna be able to trust you again. And even if it wasn't true, yeah, that would suck, and that would be that would be actually crazy. I definitely feel like I would need like a little bit of proof, like just give me a little bit of something, because it's like if you're just flat out saying like, hey, this happened, but like there's absolutely nothing to prove that, even just like a sliver of proof, then it's going to be hard for me to believe. But also it's going to be hard for me to ever trust him again. I feel like I would just never trust him again, even if it were not true. Okay. Some more comments. Christopher is a giant red flag factory while Marie is trapped in a red flag clearance sale. Good luck to them both. They'll need it. Yes, Christopher is a walking red flag, but to be fair, so is Marie, and basically OP's whole family. Maybe they're a good match after all. But OP doesn't need to worry. Sister will be running back to OP with a few kids in town? I don't know. In a few years after she has been cheated on a few times or a few more times. And then OP will be berated by the family for not just forgetting how OP was treated and for not falling in line to worship Sorry Consoled, the golden child. OP should just stay away from that awful family she was unfortunate enough to be born into. I'm going to use this red flag clearance sale. That made me laugh. You acted out of desire to protect your sister, and to be honest, which is understandable given your history with Christopher, while it's painful to see her hurt and siding with someone who betrayed her trust, you were trying to do what you believed was right, even if the outcome wasn't what you hoped for. Your family's reaction reflects their deeply ingrained values, but you can't control how others respond to your choices. Focus on your own healing and seek support from friends who understand your perspective. You deserve to be in a space where you feel valued and heard. The matchmaker thing is crazy to me. Like, obviously, everyone is different and everyone has different religion, but I just can't understand how that would work. Matchmaking is part of many religions, including Judaism and Chinese. Wait, what? Judaism? My boyfriend is Jewish. The Sidduch is a system of matchmaking in which Jewish singles are introduced to another in Orthodox Jewish communities for the purpose of marriage. What? I didn't know that. That's cool. Why? Wait, that's cool. Oh, but that's only in Orthodox Judaism? I don't really know, like, what's the point, or not the point, what's the difference between Orthodox Judaism and just regular Judaism? Is that just, like, you're more committed and, like, you follow more of the rules, or is it, like, kind of a different religion? Because isn't there, like, Orthodox Christianity, or no? Orthodox Christianity is a form of Christianity that adheres to the doctrines and practices defined by the first 7 ecumenical councils. I don't know what that means. The word orthodox comes from the Greek word orthodoxia, which means righteous/correct opinion. Of course it does. Orthodox Christians believe that the Christian faith and the church are inseparable and that the church is where the faith is proclaimed and maintained. Okay, gotcha. So they'd be like shaming me if I didn't go to church? Is that the thing? Because, like, I feel like I can be, like, not, I feel like I can be Christian without going to church. Because I don't think that just because you go to church, I don't think that means anything. Like, that's where you feel like, that's for me where you strengthen your relationship with God, but not to say that I can't strengthen my relationship with God at home in my room praying, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe that's the difference. I don't know. Let me know if you have any experience with the Orthodox religions. I mean, it's very interesting. Matchmaking, like, because I know there's like arranged marriages and stuff in certain religions or cultures, but I don't think I've ever actually heard of like matchmaking. I wonder what that entails. Like someone genuinely like meets a bunch of people and then is like matches them up. Like, here you go. Like $1,000,000 matchmaker or something. Next story. And I have to pee, so I might take a pee break soon, honestly. I'm like debating on doing it now, but I'm kind of lazy. All right. The title is Wife Deleted a Message from My Ex Telling Me that she was pregnant 5 years ago. It's been almost 2 weeks since I found out. We did the tests and she's mine. My ex had sent me a message a couple weeks before giving birth telling me about everything. My then girlfriend and present wife saw that my ex sent me a message and deleted it and then blocked her, apparently without reading it. My ex took that as me not wanting to be involved and raise our daughter all alone. For 5 effing years. My daughter is turning 5 in a month and I haven't even met her. Every time I think about how much I missed out, I just lose it. I know I must focus on what I've gained instead of what I've lost, but damn, it's hard. It's taken me 2 hours just to write this out. Don't even want to start on what my ex had to go through alone and the desperation to reach out to my mother for help when she hates her nearly more than me. My wife says she's remorseful, that she was just very immature at the time and didn't think it would be that important, so much so that she forgot about it. I've never loved anyone more than my wife. She supported me through so much. I believe that she actually feels bad and regrets it. She's pregnant at 21 weeks. What? She's 21 weeks pregnant with our first child together. We're currently separated while I deal with everything, but I don't know how we'll move forward after this. Edit, to further elaborate, I found out through my mother, who was contacted by my ex about my daughter and how I ghosted her. I was talking to my wife about this and she confessed about deleting it and blocking it. Oh, God. I mean, good for her for confessing. That would be, I'm not even going to lie, that'd be so hard for me. But the thing is, how did she know that she's the one who deleted it if she didn't read the message? Okay, some of the comments. How did you find out 2 weeks ago? LP said, my ex asked my mother for some cash for our daughter, and then my mom chewed me out for being a deadbeat, asked her what she was talking about, and she told me about my ex and how I blocked her. Mentioned it to my wife, who admitted there was a time where she deleted a message from my ex and blocked her. That's heavy. You should get yourself some therapy to deal with all of this. Seeing a professional is the only way to handle this. We're just anonymous people on Reddit with no actual qualifications in situations like this. You need to see a professional. OP replied, in all honesty, I was a shit boyfriend to her, especially towards the end, so I can't blame her for not trying harder to contact me. That's on me. I do want to forgive her, as I said. I believe she was just being childish in the moment, but damn, that was some bad timing. I'm not entirely sure I can forget about this. Do you actually, honest to God, believe that your hopefully soon-to-be ex-wife deleted it without reading it? OP said, there's obviously that little devil saying that she read it, but I refuse to believe she knew about this and didn't tell me all this time. It's not a little devil. It's your instincts. This isn't a cartoon, I'm afraid. She read it. You know that deep inside. Love an old grandma that's been around several thousand blocks. Hugs and best wishes. Go meet your child. She's 5. If you get involved now, she will never remember not knowing you in 10 years. Okay. I feel like, what was I going to say? I forget. I mean, I don't know how you can delete a message without at least seeing like the beginning. And I feel like if you were so concerned, like, or if you were going through your boyfriend's phone at the time, you would probably have read the message. No, like, I don't think you didn't see it, girl. I'm, I, it's hard to believe that you didn't see it. Because I know that you can just go in your messages and you can swipe and delete the whole thread without clicking into the message. But like, what was the beginning of the message? Hey, I just needed to tell you that blah blah blah. Or even if like if you swipe down, you can see more of the message. So it's like on your home screen. If so, I'm just confused. How did you not see that message? And also, blocking her just is like another add-on to it. It's like you just didn't want him to know, so you blocked her. Okay, there's an update 10 days later. Got some messages asking for updates, and since my post got some attention, I thought I should publicly update. Long story short, I met with my ex last week just to properly explain myself and discuss the whole what nows. It didn't end up being productive and mostly filled with awkward silence with a few miniature arguments. Towards the end, she said that she'd been talking to her lawyer and didn't want me to be involved and will be seeking full custody of our daughter with no visitation, as well as suing me for back child support and getting me on child support. So that was fun. To be clear, I was always going to provide more than my fair share for any child of mine. I really don't know how any of this works, but I haven't received anything from the court or something, so it could have just been a threat, but she seemed serious. Regardless, I decided to find myself a lawyer to help me instead of waiting around and eventually got linked with an old friend's brother whom I'm meeting tomorrow, which is great. My wife and I are trying to work things out. Due to the lawyer/court situation, financially speaking, we couldn't get an actual therapist, but my wife's pastor offered to provide marriage counseling for us. We only had 2 sessions before the family drama broke out and were temporarily put counseling on pause. Basically, the thing about my wife deleting the message leaked out to the rest of the family, which has led my wife getting uncivil messages from a couple family members. My lovely older sister, who also decided to add to the fire by posting about this on her Facebook. My wife has locked herself at home since and is taking everything quite badly since even her friends now know and now have distanced themselves from her. I'm actually quite worried about it, but at least her mom is there with her and I try to check on her regularly. It's also just overwhelming. When I'm not thinking about my daughter, I'm thinking about my ex. When I'm not thinking about my ex, I'm thinking about my family drama. And when I'm not thinking about that, I'm thinking about my marriage and the pregnancy. And there's still work, so it's been a really terrible week, finding it hard to maintain optimism and excitement for my daughter when all this has happened. Just a shit situation all around. This ended up being more of an event, so sorry about that. I probably won't give another update in the future unless there's good news, so I just thank you guys for the support. I mean, that's really sad that like this girl isn't wanting. I understand feeling protective of your daughter after like 5 years of the dad not being in her life, but if you have the opportunity to give your daughter a father, which it sounds like he's not going to be like, it sounds like he's going to be a good father. He wants to provide for her. He wants to see her. He wants to be a father figure in her life. And taking that from her when he is so willing is definitely very, very selfish. And obviously there's 2 sides to every story, but it sounds like from what I can tell that he is more than ready to be a dad and wants to be a dad to this girl, to this little girl. And I just feel like it's really, that's just going to hurt the daughter in the future to find out that her mom kept her from having a relationship with her dad, you know? Okay, some of the comments on this. He admits he was a horrible boyfriend to her and pushed her away. So when she sent the text telling him about the baby and he didn't respond, it was probably par for the course for how he had always treated her and wasn't surprised, so had no reason to want to involve a guy who would treat her that way in her daughter's life. I'm not saying she's blameless, but he sure as shit isn't. And he still hasn't answered the last post question about whether the wife purposely deleted the text knowing what they said. Did you bother to press your wife if she read the text or not? That was one of the most pressing questions posed in the last post. OP said, I didn't want to push it too much, but I did sit her down and ask her again, and she reassured me that she never read it, only saw that it was from my ex and deleted it based on that. Question, was it only a single text she deleted and she left an entire thread in your phone, or did she delete the entire thread? If the thread itself was still there and only the text saying that she was pregnant was deleted, then your wife had to have actively gone into the conversation and selected that message to delete, which means she absolutely saw it. I don't have that phone anymore, so I don't know if she deleted the message or the thread. Okay. I feel like I would remember, but I don't know, because I guess you probably wouldn't be looking at your conversation. I don't know. It depends, I guess. Dang, that sucks that he can't find that out, because that actually is a very, that would be a great way to find out. Okay, next update. This is 3 months later. Update, my wife deleted a message from my ex telling me that she was pregnant 5 years ago. Update 2. Okay, this is 3 months later. It's quite a long story, so the more condensed version is that I've met my daughter. My ex and I handled the custody and support agreement ourselves, still signed off by the court. We're both committed to making this co-parenting thing work, and it's been going well so far. My wife and I are back at home and both excited about her nearing due date. We've decided to move on. The longer version, the last update ended with my ex threatening to fight me in court. Well, the lawyer I'd arranged with suggested we give mediation a try and set that up with her lawyers as this mediator. Overall, the mediation went quite shit and seemed to be more detrimental to us ever cooperating. We only had 2 actual sessions and both were just filled with unnecessary fighting and no resolution. Funny enough, it was the chaos at the mediation that kind of proved to both of us that we weren't interested in fighting each other indefinitely, and she reached out late in the evening after the second mediation asking to meet up the next day. In that meeting, we talked things out and listened to one another, sorted through some baggage from our relationship, as well as spoke about what exactly had been going on the past 5 years. Hours-long conversation, but it was totally worth it. We agreed that we'd make it work and put our daughter in the forefront. A meeting was arranged for me to drive over and see my daughter face to face, and I did. At the time, I wasn't introduced properly to her as her father, and she obviously was cagey around this random dude, but it was still great seeing her that first time. She was and is seeing someone to help with my transition into her life, and I've since been properly introduced to her, and she started calling me Papa, so things are going stunningly smooth, and she's coping really well with it all. Plus, my ex has floated around the idea that if she could find a job/better job where I am, she'd consider moving so the distance isn't too big of a problem, though that's still a big if. For now, I'll just keep driving up to her until we're acquainted enough to allow her to make the trip to me. The last update on my wife left things at my sister posting about everything and my family fighting with my wife. My sister has removed the post and apologized to my wife, although not sincere, but still an apology. Still ongoing, but attempts of reconciling my family and wife are going to more or less well. My wife momentarily moved to stay with her parents to get away from everything for about a month, but has since moved back to the house with me as we're soon expecting birth of our child in the upcoming weeks. All extremely excited over that, and we've worked through our issues. I'm sure most of you will be disappointed by this, but I do 100% believe my wife and trust that she isn't some conniving person. She's still the woman I love, and we're all to blame for the circumstance that led to this whole situation. All we can do is focus on the future. Big thanks to everyone who's offered their support and wishes as well as advice. I truly do appreciate all of it, and that's it. Signed off, a happy dad of almost 2. Aw, that's sweet. All right, let's read some of these comments. Okay, this person responded to him saying, I'm sure most of you will be disappointed by this, but I do 100% believe my wife. They said, not disappointed, buddy, just disbelieving. But if you thinking this keeps you warm at night and your family together, then more strength to you. Hey, don't rub up on my coffee. No. Okay, someone commented, I think this will be one of those things that festers. Behavior such as that is indicative of an awful personality, no matter how well she hides it. And something else will eventually be the straw to break the camel's back. Just lots of emotional turmoil until then. Luckily for OP's wife, her current bargaining chip is being heavily pregnant. Hard for a man to leave his wife in that position. It's great that you've reconciled with the woman you love. I wish you well with both of your children and in your marriage. That said, she absolutely read the message from your ex. No woman in the history of the world would look through her partner's messages, see one from his ex, and delete it without reading. That's just not how people behave. Even in the most poorly written piece of fanfic, that would stand out as a ridiculous contrivance. I don't know. It's perfectly okay to forgive everyone, especially yourself. What matters now is where you go from here. You've rightfully put your children first. Just try to make sure that you look out for yourself as well. Good luck and congratulations. I'm so glad you can trust someone who deliberately prevented you from being a father after 5 years. Or for 5 years. Okay, what I have to say about this is that I think that he needs to definitely come to like an acceptance that it, not that he believes her that she didn't read the message, but I feel like both. That you can believe, but you can also say there's still a possibility that she did read the message. And if you can still forgive her knowing that too, then you should continue forward with your relationship. But if that would be a deal breaker and you wouldn't want to be with her, then I don't think that you should move on so quickly or move forward so quickly. Just because I feel like if you did figure out one day that that happened, it would just be like cause another uproar. But that being said, I don't think, it's really crazy to me how strong opinions people on the internet have in a situation like this. The fact that he has a pregnant wife and everyone is just being so hard on him, saying that he needs to divorce her and that blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't need to be so rude and say like, wow, like, you don't know this man and you don't know their situation. And if you're married and you have a pregnant wife, like, it's not just that easy to be like, I don't believe you by divorcing you. And then you have to co-parent another child with another person. It's like, if he chooses to believe and accept and move forward with her, let that be his decision. Like, this is his relationship. And please tell me every single one of these people commenting and bashing him for this have never been through a relationship where they've had to come to like a compromise. And although obviously this is like a huge thing to forgive someone for, if she did or if she didn't read the message, it's like a huge thing to forgive someone for. But you guys, like, not you guys, but like commenters sometimes act like they're like holier than thou. Like, they would make this best decision in the world and they would just leave this person up and leave this person. Like, they're not empathetic to the fact that this guy literally has a pregnant wife and he wants to make it work with her. And this was 5 years ago or 5.5 years ago. It's like, she could have changed just because she did this in a moment of weakness, or I don't know how old she was. How old was she? I don't know if it even says how old she was, but yeah, I don't think we know how old she was. But like, come on, have some empathy for people and recognize that it's not so easy to just make a decision like that. That's a huge decision to completely flip your entire life upside down and then have to figure out another, like, a way to co-parent with another person, and you have to already co-parent with one person. And I'm not saying that's like the main reason to stay together. Obviously you want to be happy, but he loves her and he wants to make it work. Like, just let that be that. Don't bash on this person for making that like a decision that that affects him and his life, not any of you people. This does not affect you. So I don't get why people have to be so mean sometimes. Like, you can give advice without being an asshole about it. Okay. People commented that was like a repost. So I was reading the comments that like this person that reposted it included, but these are comments on the repost, if that makes sense. Some people were saying it's been over 2.5 years. I kind of want to know what's happening for him. Then someone said, no, I'm waiting for the 13-year update from the daughter when she's gone no contact with her dad because he willfully looked away from how awful her stepmom treated her for her entire life. What? Why are people so annoying? How do you know that she's going to treat her terrible? Or met her half-sister that he loves and is invested in so much more than her. I was thinking be pissed at the mom for giving up after a text and a block. Like, that could mean anything. She didn't get to contact him in person or some other way. Now that she wants payback for child support, it didn't even sound like that should be legal. Or how about this? They co-parent amazingly and this girl comes over and gets to hang out with her half-sister and witness a good relationship. And then guess what? There is no reason that these people need to be, like, I don't know. I mean, I do think maybe, like, at some point it would be a good thing to say, like, if, because obviously, like, 5 years old, I feel like you remember a little bit. So it's like, maybe she'll be like, oh, why wasn't my dad in my life the first 5 years? And then you can kind of explain to her when she gets, like, to the old enough age. But I think I don't get why people are being so negative. That's, like, bothering me. It's like, just let these people work it out. I mean, I know they posted on a public forum to get, like, so people can say whatever they want, but it's like, why are you being so harsh? Because this guy wants to work on his relationship. I just wish that I could bake a cake with rainbows and unicorns and butterflies and everyone would eat it and be happy. Is that what it is? Is it unicorns? I don't remember what she's baking a cake with, but that's how I feel. Like, please, can we just be happy? Oh, no. Don't tell me this story got deleted. No. No. Guys, I'm so annoyed. I need a screen? Why don't I screenshot? I'm so annoying. Like, please screenshot. Just screenshot, girl. So that way you don't have to worry about it being deleted as soon as you go to read the story. Okay, we're going to read this one instead. Actually, I'm going to take a potty break quick. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break. It's literally going to be like 15 seconds. I just want to mention that we do have a Spotify, and if you want to listen, if you're watching the YouTube version and you want to listen to it on Spotify, it's linked in the description below. We also have a subreddit that is almost at 300 Storytime Society members, and if you want to join that, post, whatever you want to do on that, the description below has the link for the subreddit in it. And there is also a link in the description below for some merch. It's just like simple merch. I haven't yet decided what I want like my big extravaganza merch to be yet, so I'm still working on that. We have a little like mermaid with Storytime Society baby tee, and then I just put up a little baby tee that says I'm so glad you're alive, because I like to say that in most of my videos. And that's it for the break. Okay, back to the episode. Okay, I just got back from my potty break, and we're going to read the next story. All right, the title is, Am I the Asshole for Exposing My Wife's Cheating and Not Wanting to Do Anything with a Child That Isn't Mine? So 2 weeks ago, I found out that my 5-year-old isn't biologically mine. I felt so hurt and betrayed that my wife of 6 years relationship for 9 cheated on me and even got pregnant by another man. I took a paternity test without telling my wife. I immediately confronted my wife and called her a whore in my anger and many other names. She started crying and explained that she hid it because she didn't want to break up our happy family of 3. I asked her why she would cheat on me. She explained that we had a very nasty argument back in the day, so she hooked up with someone and it was just a one-time fling and has been loyal to me since. She said that she had doubts that I wouldn't be the father, but she never took a paternity. She said she was happy seeing me happy and didn't go with abortion for peace of our family and didn't tell me the truth. I told her I'm divorcing her and I don't want to be in our son's life. She started crying and begging me to not break the family up, and I'm still his father, and I have been a wonderful father and a husband, and I should forgive her and not to let DNA destroy our lives, and started begging me to stay. I immediately left, and she was blowing up my phone. I decided at first to not tell anyone else, but in the end, I got very angry and decided to tell everyone. Everyone is pissed at my wife. Her parents said they want nothing to do with their daughter and have cut contact with her. My sister furiously called my soon-to-be ex and cursed her out. Her brother and sister, on the other hand, said I have humiliated my soon-to-be ex and shouldn't have told everyone and should have kept it between us. Yesterday, her sister called me and said I need to take her back and come back for my son. I said I don't have a son. She got angry and started cursing at me and said I'm a weak, pathetic man. No wonder my wife cheated on me, and I'm so pathetic I had to go behind my wife's back to take a paternity test because I'm so insecure and weak that I'm giving up on my son just because we don't share blood, and I'm the reason my wife is alone and depressed. I cut her call and said I called her husband and told him everything. I said that family is full of nut jobs. Maybe it runs in their blood. You should take a paternity test as well, and don't trust those bitches. He said he's sorry on his wife's behalf, and we ended the call. Now I'm ignoring all my wife's and that bitch's calls. Wait, I'm dead. Not those bitches, that bitch's calls. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? I mean, I agree. Like, I don't think that you need to stay with this woman, but I feel like it's kind of fucked up that you're just giving up your, just because you're not blood doesn't mean you didn't raise this little boy for 5 years. How can you just think that this boy is your son and have this, like, fatherly son bond for 5 years and then all of a sudden just find out he's not yours, so you're just like, peace? Like, what the fuck? I'm not even, like, that's crazy. I would divorce her as well, but I would not just be, like, abandoning this child that thinks that I'm their father and that I have bonded with as a son. That's crazy. So, like, you kind of are the asshole. I mean, you're the asshole and so is your wife because she did that, and that's fucked up, obviously, to cheat on someone, and you shouldn't stay with her, but the fact that you're doing that is crazy. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Damn, crazy how DNAs just go around ruining marriages and destroying lives like that. Not the asshole. Okay. Oh, it was the DNA that did the destruction? Damn, science, LMAO. Speaking of which, get an STD test. Not the asshole, your wife had over 2,100 days to tell you the truth, yet she chose to lie for all of them. I grew up as a child whose father questioned my paternity, and it was a living nightmare. He always treated my sister, who was born within the marriage, completely differently. When I found out that the truth as an adult, everything made sense. The neglect and abuse I suffered happened because I wasn't his child, and he knew it all along. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I hope you'll consider a few therapy sessions with the child to help ease the transition once you've had time to process everything. You have every right to feel upset, angry, and betrayed. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something you're not emotionally ready for until you've come to terms with what your wife did. This is why I strongly support mandatory DNA testing at birth to establish paternity before anyone signs the birth certificate. It would eliminate paternity fraud, reassure fathers about their child's paternity, and speed up child support cases by providing proof right from the start. I mean, I'm really actually surprised that I'm not hearing people say that he's the asshole as well. Like, I mean, I understand. Oh, I don't understand. I'm trying to understand his side, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm maternal, but I know I wouldn't be able to do that because obviously that couldn't happen to me. But like, if it did, say it could happen to me, then I would. Obviously, it'd be hard. This is a life-changing decision, but you've already been a father for 5 years. You've been a father to this child. You've connected with this child in a fatherly way. You've built such a bond, I hope, with this child. You've been thinking that this is your child for 5 years, despite having a little bit of doubt. But, like, that's crazy to me. And I'm not trying to turn this on him, but it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, she's fucked up. But, like, girl, how can you just drop someone like that? How can you just drop a little 5-year-old like that? A little precious, innocent 5-year-old and just be like, fuck y'all. Like, sorry, I can't understand it. And this person said, sister called OP a weak, pathetic man, and yet her sister cheated because they had an argument. She's just mad that she has the support system. She has to be the support system for a cheater. I am also pretty sure the sister knew or suspected that the child was not OP's. You will never know if it was really just a one-time fling or she stepped out of your relationship every time you had a fight. Yeah, that's true. Leave the girl, but why are you gonna drop the little boy like that? Like, that just makes me feel so bad for him. He's thought, this must be so hard for him to think that, like, my dad, who I thought was my dad, isn't really my dad, but then at the same time, once he figured out that he really wasn't my dad, he just didn't want anything to do with me. That makes me sad, guys. That does. It really makes me sad. I don't even know what else to say about that. I just feel like I would... I hope that she gets in contact with the guy that she had a one-night stand with, and maybe he wants to be the father or take some responsibility for the child. I don't know, because this poor boy is about to go through so much, losing his dad, and then, like, maybe in the future finding out why he lost his dad and the fact that his dad just didn't want him anymore because he wasn't blood related to him. I don't know. Do you guys agree with me? I don't know if I'm being like too harsh on this guy because obviously it's really hard to find out this. Like that's like crazy thing to find out. I would feel so I would feel so terrible and feel so like betrayed by this. But it's just hard for me to understand how you can just drop a little child like that you've been a father figure of. It's really sad to me. But that's all the stories we have for today. I have the weirdest taste in my mouth from this coffee. It's like giving me a weird aftertaste. And I'm finally starting to feel like a little less. I feel a little bit like right now I feel a little like I'm experiencing derealization a little. And that sometimes happens like when, or I don't know if that's really what I consider it. Like I just don't, like I feel like, I don't know. So it's hard for me to explain, but I feel like I'm not in the world right now. Like I feel like I'm looking at, I don't even know, guys. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't feel real right now. From my medicine, I usually like, I feel, it always makes me feel so weird. And my doctor said that I would get used to it and I wouldn't be as dizzy after I take it, but I'm still just as dizzy every single day. And I've been taking it almost for 3 months now. Also, I have my doctor's appointment, or I have a dentist appointment tomorrow for the first time in a year because I got off my dad's insurance like when I turned 26 in March. And the last time I've been to the dentist is right when I moved to my apartment last year. So it's been like a year and I'm like, damn girl, you need to go to the dentist. And I'm kind of scared, but I have to pay out of pocket, which is so annoying. I don't have insurance because like I've always been self-employed. So like I need to figure out what like a good insurance is that I don't have to pay out the asshole for. So I'm going to the dentist tomorrow and I hope that I don't have any cavities and I hope that I'm okay. But also Thursday I have my appointment with my doctor where I'm going to ask him if I can please have my cats as my emotional support animals because I don't like want to have issues with like living situations because of my cats, and that's not even the biggest reason why. I genuinely like, I'm not even saying this just because I want my doctor to write me a note for like having them as emotional support animals. I feel like they are. If you guys like know me, if you've listened to the episodes, you guys know how much I love my cats. Like even just thinking about it, it's making me like want to choke up and like cry because I love my cats. I genuinely like feel so, I just feel so, oh girl, she knows I'm talking about her. I just feel so connected to them and they all in different ways helped me, and like having something to take care of and to care about and to care for, and they all are just so uniquely different, and they truly like support me emotionally. Like Willa constantly is cuddling with me. She's always wanting to cuddle. She's always like, when she walks by the couch, she'll get up on the couch, and if it's me and my boyfriend on the couch, she'll go say hi to my boyfriend. She'll give him like some kisses on his face and like, you know, rub up against him, and then she'll see me, and then she immediately comes to me and she wants to lay on me, and then she'll fall asleep for hours on me. Like if I didn't get up, she would be on me for like the whole entire day. And that's just like so nice. I love having that. And then Poppy, it's like she is just so fun. She's like a little dog. She plays fetch. She'll sit on you once in a while, and it's like, you know, it's special when they don't ever like, it's a lot more rare for them to sit on you. So once they sit on you, you're like, oh my god, I can't move until she gets up. And that's like her. Like it's so nice when she wants to like sit on you and cuddle. And then Frankie, he doesn't really cuddle, but he's such a sweet soul. And yeah, all he cares about is food and pets most of the time. But he's just like so carefree, and so like his little brain, I just know the only things in there is floating around is butterflies. Like he is just a sweet little soul, and he's always so sweet to our guests. Like he rubs up, the maintenance guy came today and he's rubbing up against his legs, like in between his legs. And he's just so silly. He's like so carefree. Like he doesn't care who you are. He will, you know, you can do, I mean, you can't do whatever with him. He doesn't really like being picked up, but he doesn't care who you are. He'll love you. And that's the same with Willa. Poppy's a bit more picky. But then, like, once she accepts you, like, recently, my boyfriend's mom gave her treats. And ever since This is like the first and only time she's ever given Poppy treats, because she had some extra from her cats in a bag or something in her purse, and she gave Poppy those when she came over. And ever since then, Poppy's been nice to her, which she usually hisses at her uncontrollably, and like actually gets really pissed and growls and stuff, and like if she'll like pounce kind of at her. But ever since because she smells my boyfriend's mom's cats, like when she smells other cats' scents, she gets pissed. She does not like the scent of other cats. We took Willa on a car ride the other day, and like I think when you take cats like other places, we also took her inside PetSmart, so like she probably picked up some other pet scents and stuff. And when we brought her back, like Poppy was pissed at her, and she kept hissing at her like, who is this? Because they recognize each other through scents. And that happened too when I brought Frankie home from the vet once. Poppy was like pissed, like, who is this? Like looking at him like, who the fuck is this guy? And then like obviously after a while she realizes like, oh, that's my brother. But yeah, she's been nice to my boyfriend's mom, and like rubbing up against her, going on her lap, letting her pet her, which is not normal for her to do. So when she accepts you, it just makes you feel so special. It's like makes you feel like you're accepted into like a secret society. It's like, oh my God, the cult leader wants me. Like the leader of the Scientologists wants me. They're recruiting me. That's like Poppy. She's like literally the leader of a cult, I think, because that's just her behavior. She's like the queen of, she's so smart too. It's honestly crazy. Yeah, like I truly think she's so smart. She will, like last time my boyfriend was folding laundry and she was laying on the bed but like facing away from her, and he like started talking about her like, Poppy is blah 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 blah, and she literally tilts her head back like that, like looks at him. Like it was so funny. It's like she's so smart. She knows her name. Like he wasn't even saying like, Poppy, come here. He was just like talking to me about Poppy and like said her name, and she immediately looked back, and then she went forward and like kept cleaning herself, and then he said it again like, Poppy, just regular, and she looked back again. I was like, girl, you're so smart. She's so smart. And that's just one example of things. But yeah, not me literally talking about my cats for 7 years. But so yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to have an appointment with my doctor on Thursday, and he's really nice, and I don't really talk to him that much. Like on our appointments, it's very like short and sweet, but it's like I feel like he will, and I feel like if I truly explain to him, like I genuinely feel like they support me and emotionally, and like it helps me so much. It's not like obviously if I were to go off my depression and anxiety meds, they'd like cure my depression and anxiety, but they definitely help me, like having something to take care of, having someone like to show love to, give love to, and to give love back to me, and like having having things like alive beings that they rely on me, that definitely helps. And it's like helps me be responsible and organized, and yeah, I'm a mother, okay? I'm a mother. That's all I have to say about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please leave any comments or thoughts or anything below. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching the Storytime Society. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so glad you're alive, and I'm so happy you're here, and I hope you stay with me forever and a day. Okay? I love you to the moon and back. Goodbye.